Hey guys, it's the nerd half of this Nerdtroverts duo, and today I'm starting a weekly reading vlog. So I've done a couple of reading vlogs, but they've always been like centralized around like a book, or I did like the reading rush. But I want to hold myself accountable. I want to start reading more. I've been really slack over the past like year with my reading. Ever since COVID hit, I just kind of like didn't have the like energy or the like motivation to like pick up a book and actually read it. And then I like was reading again, and then like I got a new job and it was like full-time hours, and then I haven't picked up a book properly in so long. Like I've read a couple books this year, but like I'm just not reading like I used to, and I want to like start doing that. So like I'm taking this week to like start picking up books again and actually like read them instead of just like sitting them on my desk to never be touched again. So it is Monday the 1st of March and it has just hit midnight, so it's time to start. So the book that I've already started and do want to continue in this week is Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend, which is the third book in the Morgan Crow series. I'm not very far in. I am 58 pages in, so not a lot. And I was really like motivated to read this book like a month ago, and then by the time I actually got around to picking it up, I just wasn't motivated to read it anymore. And I'm really kind of frustrated with myself for that, because I do genuinely really love this series. It's a very fun series. It's middle grade. Middle grade, that sounds so weird for me to say as an Australian where middle grade doesn't exist. So the Morgan Crow series is about this girl called Morgan Crow, and she's a cursed child and destined to die. But then on the day that she is meant to die, this guy shows up and saves her and whisks her away to the magical world of Nevermore, and he tells her that she has a knack or like a magical ability. She has no idea what it is, but he wants her to sort of like go through these trials to become what are they called? Become part of the Wondrous Society, which is this like really elite school where they like help you really perfect your knack and become like a really amazing person with what you do. And it's like this really great honor, and she's like all for it. She loves this magical world and she like just wants to be a part of it in any way she can. And it's just, yeah, it's about her, and she doesn't even know what her knack is. Everyone's been kind of like shady about what her knack is, but I'm not going to spoil what it is because it's pretty important actually. And this is the third and final book in that series, so I do really want to finish it. I do really want to read it soon, but it's just the motivation has been severely lacking. The other book that I really want to pick up this week is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I read the Six of Crows duology in January. I finished those. Like I read Six of Crows, it took me a bit, but then I like finished it really quickly, and then I picked up Crooked Kingdom and I read that in like a day. And the Shadow and Bone like TV trailer came out yesterday, I think, and it's got me back in the mood. And I think I'd really enjoy Six of Crows. Six of Crows. I did really enjoy Six of Crows, and I think I'd really enjoy Shadow and Bone. I think I'm gonna like Six of Crows better. I'm going back and forth. I'm not 100% sure on which I'll like better, because I like, how do I say this? I'm someone who really likes like the good protagonist, like the good-hearted, kind person. I'm always a sucker for a character like that. That's just who I am as a person. I just really enjoy seeing that. Like people who are good for the sake of being good and not out of some sort of like obligation. And I think the character in this is more like that, and the characters in Six of Crows are not like that. But I know that there's like an attraction between like the protagonist and like the antagonist. I think there's sort of like they're attracted to each other, but like I don't know, I don't fully understand it. It's just kind of like what I've picked up from like existing on Tumblr. And I don't think I'm gonna like that. Whereas I really love the way that like the relationships and the romances were handled in the Six of Crows duology. So we'll see. We'll see. And like this, I think this is a trilogy. And I only have the first one, but I do want to read it before the Shadow and Bone TV show comes out. I think that would be really good. I'm going to probably do some reading tonight, and yeah, I've got a pretty quiet week. I'm not working a lot this week, but yeah, so we shall see how my reading goes. I don't usually read 2 books at once. That's usually like a little much for me, but we will see how badly my desperation to read this book wins out over like my want of reading Holopox, since I've already started it. We'll see how that goes. Monday night-ish. It's probably almost 6 o'clock right now, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't read very much today. I have read some. I'm on page 160. So yeah, I'm a little bit further in than I was when I finished at like whatever time I finished reading this morning, and I didn't really have a morning because I slept in until about midday today. And then I went to recycle some like cans and bottles and stuff, and then when I got back there were people here that were doing like renovations. We were getting rid of some carpet and putting in some wooden flooring, and they were so noisy that I just didn't want to read, and they didn't leave until about 4 o'clock. And then I just was trying to psych myself up to getting my book out and reading some more, and so I was watching some like other booktubers to try and like get myself in the reading mood, and then I was just watching more instead of reading. But then I finally picked up the book, so I have done a little bit of reading, and I do plan on doing some more reading tonight. Hopefully I do. I always say that I'm not reading, and like technically I am reading. Like I've been reading a lot of fan fiction and have been for many years, but I never count fan fiction as reading. And I don't know why, because it is. It's still reading. I'm still reading thousands of words every fic. But like, it just doesn't feel the same because it's not a novel. And because it's not like published by like a company. It's just like people publishing works for free. And so I never count fanfiction as reading. But like, if I broke it down, I'd probably read several books every week with how much fanfiction that I can consume. Because it's on my phone and it's so easy to read, and it's just so easy to like read about characters that I already know, you know? I don't know, it's weird. I'm always like, oh, I don't read enough, but then I'm constantly reading fan fiction. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little update on my thoughts for Holopox. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I forgot how much I loved all these characters. Like the first couple chapters I was like not overly interested. I was like, okay, like trying to remember who everyone is, but like I forgot how much I love Jupiter, and I love Jack. I think Jack's my favorite. He's not in it very often, but I think he is my favorite character. And I just learning more about Morrigan's knack is just, and like how it works and what she can do with it is like really interesting, and I'm really glad that we're diving into it in this book. I'm not 100% sure what the huge conflict is. There's been like a couple of like things that have happened which is unusual, and it's probably going to be like the symptoms of some like greater issue, but we don't know what that issue is yet because I'm like, what, a quarter of the way through the book? A third, maybe I'm a third of the way through the book. Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to continue, which is good. So I should be doing that soon. I will be having dinner soon-ish, but then after dinner, hopefully I will sit down and do some more reading, and then I will update you with more thoughts then. Hey guys, so it is almost 10 o'clock at night right now and I'm on page 300 of Hollowpox. So I've made quite like a decent dent in this book. Am I on 300 or 200? I might only be on 200. I might have 300 pages left. I'm only on page 200. I have 300 pages left. That's where I got confused. I was like, I know what I have to say. No, I don't. So I am almost halfway through this book now and I am really enjoying my time with it. It's picked up a little bit more than before and we're kind of learning a bit more and getting a bit more exposed to the actual story of this. I now know what Hollowpox actually is a reference to, and yeah, it feels like it's starting to actually get somewhere and go somewhere, so I'm excited to see how that turns out, but I'm also like very intrigued to see how like the wondrous arts play into it, because that hasn't really been explained and there's no way that it's not involved in this plot whatsoever. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But before I go to bed, I just wanted to kind of like test a theory that I have, and I want to touch on that point that I made just before about like fan fiction and reading. As I was saying, I read a lot of fan fiction and it never feels like reading because like it's fan fiction, it's just like on my phone and I'm not really aware of like how much I'm actually reading. But AO3 includes the word count. I'm sure, I think fanfiction.net did as well. But AO3 has a really good sort of system and it's very easy to see the word count of every single fic that you read. So I thought that I might go through my history. I'm not going to expose my history. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not ashamed of reading fan fiction, but like that doesn't mean that I need to like, you know, expose myself to you today. But I thought I'd go through like the past week's worth of reading I've done. So up until the 23rd of February until today, the 1st of March. And just kind of see how many words I have actually read and figure out what like the average word count is for a given novel and see how much I actually read in a week when it comes to fan fiction. So I'm sitting at my desk and I've got my laptop and I've got a calculator and I'm basically just going to go through my AO3 history and just read off a bunch of numbers, add them all up, and then we shall see where we end up and see how much I'm actually reading. Because like I'm genuinely curious, because I do read a lot of fan fiction, but I've never really thought of it in terms of like I read like a book's worth of fan fiction every week, you know, like I haven't really thought of that. Okay, so Google tells me that most adult books are about 90,000 words and are no longer than 100,000 words. Teen books are about 55,000 words. So those are some numbers to keep in mind while going through and seeing. I've definitely read over 50,000 words in the last week. I have to have. Because I read a lot. But I don't know if I'm going to reach 90,000. So we shall see if I'm reading like a 200-page book versus like a 500-page book. Ooh, what a very like pleasing number to start off with. 4,321.
4,238, 10,370, 1,864, 1,844, 1,576, 899, 407, 2,545, 1,518, 5,657, 3,440, 152, 1,051, 836, 6,393, 1,585, 1,598.
So I'm at the end of just like the first page of my AO3 history, and I'm still sitting on the 28th of Feb, which was yesterday, and I am currently sitting on 56,445 words. So like in like probably like a day-ish, because like it's not even all of yesterday. I'm sure there's more from yesterday. I have read like a teen-sized novel. So probably like 200 pages, 300 pages I have read of just fan fiction in like the last day. It's like, I do read. Okay, let's keep going. 10,798. Oh my god. 3,227. I'm just watching this number grow on the calculator. Ooh, I'm still on the 28th of Feb. Okay. So this, I'm now at the end. I'm now on the 27th of Feb. So the number of words that I have read today and yesterday is 165,138. So over the course of 2 days, I have read like 1.5, almost 2, like adult novels. What the fuck? I also want to keep going. This is going to take me forever. But I do want to know how much I read in a week, so I'm going to keep going. And I might just like cut to the end because I feel like we're going to be here a while. So I just finished adding up all of the word counts, and I am sitting at 888,821 words in total. I'd like to like just flash back to like 20 minutes ago when right before I started counting, when I was like, I don't know if I'll hit 100,000 words, but I should hit 55,000. It's fine, I'm just having like a minor crisis. Hi. So my camera battery died, but I just really quickly did the math on a calculator. I divided my ridiculous number by the like average words on a page, which is like 250 to 300. So I divided my huge number by 300 to see roughly how many pages I have read. Roughly, the amount of pages that I have read in the last week is 2,962.736 repeating. So like I have almost read 3,000 pages. I knew it was going to be a lot, but I didn't think it would be that much. I'm still in shock. That is how many pages I've read. That is how many words. What is if I do, this is where I started. That is all the words that I read, and then divided by 300 to get the page count. Yeah, so that's my life. I'm having a good day. How are you guys going? I'm gonna try and go to bed. I have to get up really early tomorrow, so I need to go to sleep. So I'm gonna try and do that. And I will check in with you guys tomorrow. It is now Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. What? And I've read about another chapter of Hollowpox, and it's like 11:30. I just thought I'd give you just like a little update. I had to go to the dentist at 9 a.m. this morning to get a fill-in, but the hole in my tooth was quite big and she put the fill-in in, but she's worried that it might cause too much discomfort and might not work, and I'll have to go back and either fork over like $1,200 for root canal treatment or possibly just remove the tooth. I hope my wisdom tooth grows in okay because it's like right at the back, but I'm not gonna know that for a couple of days. My mouth's still a little numb, but I'm just kind of like feeling like a little sorry for myself. I just thought I'd come and sit in my kitchen. My mum's birthday was a week ago, and so there's 4 different sets of flowers. I don't know how much reading I'll do today because I'm going to be in a bit of pain. We'll see how the day goes and I will keep you updated. It is now Wednesday and I haven't done any more reading. It's also like almost 3 o'clock on Wednesday. So I'm trying to like motivate myself to read. I was not feeling great yesterday after sort of like the numbness went away from the dentist yesterday. I was like a little bit sore and then I had a bad headache which turned into a bad migraine. So I went to bed at like 4 p.m. I didn't do any more reading and I haven't done any more reading today because I've just been like watching YouTube and on my phone and stuff. But I do want to do some more reading. I do want to like finish Hollowpox this week, so I should probably sit down and actually read it. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do right now. I'm trying to motivate myself to do it right now. So I will check in with you guys soon, hopefully with a book update. Guys, I'm so worried about Morrigan. She is becoming obsessed with these like, what are they called? Ghostly hours. And I don't like it. I don't like her obsession. Like I understand that like she's learning about her knack and it's like super important. And like I love her learning about her knack, but it's become something else now. Like I don't know how much she's actually learning and how much she's actually just obsessing over like the history, and it concerns me. I'm very worried. She's pulling away from her friends a little bit too much for my liking. And I need to keep reading, but like, I don't wanna. I do want to keep reading, but like, it's stressing me out. Oh, I just like saw my Switch as I was like looking across and I'm like, maybe I want to play some Animal Crossing and just like calm the fuck down. It's probably not a bad idea. I'll read a bit more and then I'll play Animal Crossing later. I am now on page 411 of Hollowpox and I had to stop because I'm afraid to keep going. I am really enjoying it though. The book is so good. It's so well written and the story is so interesting and I want to continue because I want to know what happens, but like I'm also afraid of the potential of what could happen. It's a children's book, right? Like it's for like younger kids, so like it's not going to end badly, right? It's going to end fine, right? I guess I'll find out. Hi, hello. I've never been more shocked in my fucking life. What the fuck? Okay, I'm going back to reading now. Bye. So I have just finished Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend and upon finishing this book I then did research and realised this is not the last book in the series. There's 3 more books, because I reread like the last 2 pages twice and I was like, there's no way that that's the ending. I was like, there has to be more. And there is. There are 3 more books being published. Thank God. What the fuck? What was that ending? I'm so scared. Anyway, it's fine. It's all fine. I really enjoyed this book. It was thoroughly entertaining the whole way through. I felt so like angry on behalf of Morrigan for so much of the book, like the adults, not all adults, but like the ones like in politics. I'm really excited for the rest of the series now that I know that there is more to the series. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know why I thought this was the last book. If you have not read the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend, highly recommend the series. Like, it is like middle grade or like for younger teens, older kids, whatever. Like, it's not, I'm not the target audience, but I like have enjoyed every moment of this book, of this entire series. Like, it's just, it's so well crafted, it's so interesting, and like it's just very good. So like, highly recommend reading it. And yeah, I'm gonna play some Animal Crossing to calm the F down, and then I will start on another book. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We shall see how I'm feeling, but I will let you know. Just past midnight, so it's technically Thursday morning now, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I have started Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I'm only like 24 pages in, so I'm not very far in at all, but I just wanted to like give a bit of an update before I go to bed. I don't actually know what this book is about. In all technicality, I know it's set in the same world as Six of Crows. I know that it's set before Six of Crows, and technically I should have read this before Six of Crows. I kind of already know what's gonna happen to the protagonist because of something I read in Six of Crows. But even if that is how it ends, like, I'm so excited to see how it gets to that point. But all I really know is it's a high fantasy. There are these things called the Grisha, and they're basically just people with like magical abilities, but there's like specific types of magical abilities. I can't remember all the names for them. There's a guy called the Darkling. I don't know anything about him other than he's like the bad guy or an antagonist or like whatever. And then you've got our main character, Alina, I think is how you say her name, and she hasn't gotten it yet, but she has some sort of like light power of some kind, and she has to learn how to harness it. I don't really know what, but I'm excited to see how it goes. I know this is a trilogy, which makes sense because this is a very short book, but hopefully I love it. I'm a little upset because the next 2 books don't have a collector's edition cover, which I'm like a little upset about, but like, it's fine, whatever. I'm excited to continue reading and see where this story goes. I think I can finish this by the end of the week if I like dedicate time to actually reading it, but we'll see how far in I get with it, and I will update you all tomorrow at some point. Good morning guys, it is about 11:30 and it's such a nice day out today, so I'm going to do something like that I never do, and I'm going to sit on my balcony and read some more Shadow and Bone and play some Animal Crossing and just kind of enjoy the nice day. the Darkling and Elena. I'm not impressed. Like, I don't hate the Darkling like I was expecting to. Like, I was really expecting him to be like the bad guy. I know the name Darkling just very much alludes to like being the bad guy. And like maybe by the third book he is. I don't know. And like I don't dislike him. I'm actually like warming up to him as a character with like a personality and stuff. But like he's like, what is this relationship based on? It's based on attraction and potential and nothing more. There's no like foundation. There's nothing more to it. And just like I feel a pull towards this person. And like I don't know, maybe that's what relationships are to some people, but like I don't like that. I need more to a relationship to want to like it. And maybe it'll become something more and maybe it won't, but like I can't say I'm excited about it. I'm not necessarily like completely against it. I guess we'll see how it plays out, but like I was a little disappointed, one, at how soon it seems. Like this is a trilogy. Like there's no way this is gonna end happily. She keeps saying that like when like he like puts like a hand on her or like is near her or whatever, like it's like a wave of calm, and like that feels like his magic or his powers or whatever. Like it doesn't, I don't think it's like relaxing because of his proximity, because like it's happened since the moment that she met him. So it's gotta be, I don't know, maybe it's because he's an amplifier, maybe, I don't know what it could be, but like I don't trust it. I don't trust that it's based on anything real. Like this relationship just doesn't seem like anything. There's just like, I wasn't surprised. Well, I was, the first time that they kissed I was definitely surprised because like it felt like it came out of nowhere. But like I'm not surprised that this is like the route that it's going, because that attraction was there from the start. It's not that it's like badly written. Like there is an attraction there. There is like a pull between the two of them. Like that is obvious. I just don't like it. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I'm like so firmly against it. Like I went in wanting to be against it because I thought the Darkling was like the bad guy, and he's not. And so like I want to be open to the idea that this could be a good relationship, but I just don't think it's going to be a healthy relationship. But like again, like there's not a lot to base it on yet. I don't know what it's going to be. But I just, you know, I'm on page 194. I'm like midway through a chapter, but I felt the need to just like update you on what's happening. Just get these thoughts out of my head so that I can keep reading. But we shall see what happens and how quickly I want to buy the sequel. Look, it's my favorite side character that's been in like 2 scenes, but that for some reason I'm weirdly attached to. Oh god, I bet he dies, doesn't he? He better not die. I'm gonna be so upset if he dies. Anyway, so remember how I was like, maybe the Darkling isn't the bad guy? Taking that one back. But I just like read like to the end of the chapter. The good thing about me actually making that update though is that like that was my thought process at the time, and like it just shows how like well crafted Leigh Bardugo's like characters are, because there was a point where I was like, maybe it's just like a really bad name, you know, and he's like not that bad. I mean, technically I still haven't finished the book, and like technically he doesn't have to be the bad guy, but like come on, he's the bad guy. I'm on page 230 or chapter 17, so I've got like less than 100 pages left, so I will try and finish it tonight. But before I finish it, I actually thought about just out of curiosity, I just wanted to do a quiz to see which of the Grisha orders I belong in. So I'm gonna like set this camera somewhere where I'm not holding it and take a little quiz, and let's find out which Grisha order I'm a part of. So there's a couple quizzes, but I'm just gonna do like the Epic Reads one, calculating results. What does it say? Corporal. I'm a tailor. Corporal key. And I still don't know how to say it. The order of the living and the dead. You have a strong connection with others, however, are always aware that not everything is as they seem. You're very tuned into people's natures and aren't one to be fooled when someone claims to be fine. As such, it makes sense that you would have the ability to alter appearances. Huh, that's so interesting. I was thinking that if I was to be... I mean, I don't know a lot about all of the Grisha abilities, to be fair, but I always thought that I could have been like a healer or a heartrender. Like, I feel like that could have been like the line that I walked, and maybe that's just because I saw more of it with Nina in Six of Crows. So I kind of got to see that ability more than any other ability. But like a tailor, that's kind of cool. It's not my favourite of the abilities, but like I'm not against it. I can lean into it. So yeah, I'm going to read the rest of this before I go to bed tonight, and then I'll give you an update either tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how late it is. Finished Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. It is 11 o'clock at night, though I probably finished maybe a half hour ago. I was kind of like letting it sink in a bit, kind of like getting used to my thoughts. So first thought is that I definitely prefer Six of Crows, and I was trying to like figure out why, because like the dregs, which are like the main characters, are all kind of like morally ambiguous, kind of shady characters. And I was like, why do I like them so much? Because I don't typically like those kinds of characters. And then I realized it's the found family dynamic. As for like any of my other thoughts, I don't really have like a bunch concrete. I really enjoyed Leigh Bardugo's writing style and just the way that she writes compelling characters, and even like making me doubt whether or not the Darkling was like the good guy or the bad guy at the beginning of the novel. Really just shows like how she's good at writing like multifaceted characters. But by the end of it, I don't know, like he felt kind of more like one-dimensional towards the end. Hopefully there's going to be like a bit more to him in the other two books, because like by the end he was just kind of like a guy who wanted power, and I just hope that there's more to his story than that, but we shall see. I, more than anything, just found the friendships pretty lacking. There's just not a lot of substance between Alina and like anyone beyond like 3 characters. And I really wish that there'd been more people that she had grown close to and didn't just like know the names of. Because that's all it really felt like. Even David, who like has like a moment at the end of the book, I'm like, I don't know anything about him except he's quiet. And I just wish we'd seen more moments where she was growing closer to these people and it wasn't glossed over. Because I feel like it's hard to explain, but I am such a sucker for, like I said, found family, but just like seeing good on the side that is bad. Seeing like more than one type of person, because I really love seeing like all the Grisha in like one place, who are free to do their, like free to learn and like use their abilities, but it's all like under the power of the Darkling. So like what does that mean for them morally? And I just kind of wish we'd seen more of that. I don't like Alina and the Darkling as a couple, especially not at the end of the book. Like I was saying earlier, like I didn't really care one way or the other. I wasn't really for it, but like I wasn't that against it. when it was first starting to happen, but like now at the end I'm like, get this guy away from her, like I don't want this to happen. But like obviously something's going to happen because there's 2 more books and there's no way that they're going to live happily ever after book 1. But I am really glad I picked this up. This was a really great novel, and if you haven't read any of Leigh Bardugo's works, I definitely recommend it because this and the Six of Crows duology are just fantastic and well written, and it's such a beautifully crafted universe. So I highly recommend it if you haven't read it already. It is 11 o'clock at night. I should be going to bed. I'm not going to be going to bed, but I might just edit this video and maybe pick the next book or like start thinking about it. But those are my thoughts on Shadow and Bone, and I will update you guys tomorrow. So it is now Friday. It is about 2:30 and I have about an hour before I have to leave for work, but I just wanted to give you guys an update. I did not end up doing editing or anything last night. I actually picked up The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is the second book in the Eldest Curses series, and it's just basically a series that follows Alec and Magnus from the Mortal Instruments series. I'm really enjoying it so far. I love reading about Alec and Magnus, and seeing like the original gang back together is always just so fun. But the only thing that's like kind of annoying is because there's so many books in the Shadow world that are out, and this book falls like somewhere in the middle of some of them, there's no sense of like imminent danger. Like there's no real threat because I know that these characters are going to be in a story in the future, and so I know that they're going to be okay by the end of this book. So I'm not like worried about the characters, which is kind of annoying because like part of like the reason you want to keep reading is because you feel scared and you want to like make sure that they're okay, you want to know what happens. But I know that these characters are going to be fine, so I'm not like worried about them. That being said, it is still like a really good book so far. Like I'm still really enjoying my time with it, and I still definitely want to see where it goes and like what it all means. But yeah, there's just no sort of like sense of danger for the characters. Like I know they're all going to be fine. But I'm currently 63 pages into this book, and I'm going to read a little bit more before I have to go to work tonight, and then when I come home I finish at 9:30, so I'll probably read a bit more when I get home, and if I don't, I'll just read on the weekend because I've still got 2 more days. But yeah, I'm excited to dive back into this world and get some more reading done. So it is later. I am back from work and I am on page 102 of The Lost Book of the White, and I have some thoughts. So I am loving the Alec and Magnus. I absolutely adore their relationship and just how they've clearly grown, and just seeing them at this point in their life is just, it's so nice, because every other point we've seen has been so like from outside point of view, like snippets, but we actually get to see them, and it's just, it's very nice. And seeing the old gang back together, seeing Simon as a redacted is very exciting, and just seeing how they all work together as a team again, it's just, it's nice because they're older and they're more mature, but it's still got a lot of the humor and a lot of the same like familiarity that the Mortal Instruments has, but it's just like slightly better. Other than that, I don't have much else to say, and I'll be reading probably a lot more tomorrow because I think Karina is now coming over tomorrow. She messaged me while I was at work to ask what I was doing, and I have like some family, like I have a couple cousins and stuff coming over, but it's for like unrelated reasons that I don't think I have to be present for. So she's gonna come over around lunchtime and we'll have a bit of a chat, and she basically just wants to chill and study, and I'll chill and I'll read. Which will be nice because we haven't just like hung out in a while. Like we've seen each other, but we haven't like just hung out, the two of us doing nothing. Fingers crossed. I think I should be able to finish this book by the end of the week, but I don't want to like jinx myself, but like I can make myself finish this book by Sunday night. But before I continue reading, I might actually wrap some birthday presents and clean my room a little bit, and then I'll do some reading. not joking, been putting off cleaning for like a few weeks now, and I never, like, I know why I procrastinate it, but also like I feel so much better in a clean room. And like, it's not totally clean. The area right next to my bed is still a bit messy, but like that bit's always messy, like that's fine. But like, I have floor space. But now that everything is clean, I might go have like a nice bath, because I don't really feel like a shower and it's a bit too late for a shower. And I'll do a little bit more reading, and then I might update you before Karina comes tomorrow, I might not. And it is the next, I was gonna say morning, but it's probably closer to afternoon now than morning. And Karina is gonna be here pretty much any minute now, I assume. But I did a little bit more reading. I'm on page 138, I think, of this book. And I'm still really enjoying it, but again, like, there's just no real sense of danger. Like, something is happening to Magnus and it's real bad, and I have no idea how the hell they're gonna get out of it, but I'm also like, but he's gonna be fine because he's in another book that's set further in the future. So like, he's gonna be fine. But I am intrigued to see like how the hell he gets out of this, because like it sounds pretty bad. And I've got probably like 200 pages left of this book, so I think I could smash it out today if I just did reading. But I don't know, I might do reading while Karina's here, I might do some editing while she's here. We shall find out. Sunday morning, and it has just gone at 12, and I have finished The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Technically I finished this book a couple hours ago, but when I finished this book I had like a bunch of family over. There was 4 extra people here. We had music playing very loudly, and it would just be a absolutely terrible time to try and film this clip, so I decided to put it off until now. I really enjoyed my time with The Lost Book of the White. I think I'm probably going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. It is just such a well written, wonderful story with such a great cast, and like just going back in and reading about Alec and Magnus and having Jace and Clary and Izzy and Simon just like working together again has been like so wonderful to read about, because they weren't in the Red Scrolls of Magic, so it was so nice to see them working together again, and like having the focus still be on Alec and Magnus and their relationship, and just seeing them at this point in their relationship where they aren't lying to each other and they trust each other and love each other, and the insecurities and like all like the stuff that comes from like the beginning of their relationship is just gone, and it's just full of love and care. It was so nice to see. But that also didn't take away from the great relationships between like Alec and everyone else, and even Magnus and everyone else, and having the moments between like Simon and Izzy, and also with Jace and Clary, but them not like overshadowing Alec and Magnus and their relationship. It was so wonderful. It was like a breath of fresh air, because for the entirety of the Mortal Instrument series, like these guys just did not get the spotlight very much, and so now they get their own series, and I think that's great. My only real criticism with this book is just the fact that because this book is set like before the Dark Artificer series, there's no sense of danger, because these characters appear in the Dark Artificer series and in other short stories, and so there's no sense of like, oh my god, like Magnus could die, he's in danger, something horrible is gonna happen. And like, even though I probably wouldn't have thought that anyway, because these books do tend to have more of a happy ending than not, it's still like there's still always that little bit of fear. But I didn't have that. I was like, Magnus is going to be fine. I don't know how yet, but he's going to be fine. And so that was kind of like just always in the back of my mind, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is just like a thing. Like, I was just kind of like, well, there's no real sense of danger. The only other like kind of issue I had is there is a character story in this that was pretty predictable. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was reading about this character and just like what they knew and how they spoke, I was like, oh, this character's gonna do this thing, and the character did that thing, and because I saw it from like a mile away, I was like, well, this is clearly a red herring and it's misleading and it's actually gonna be this. And then I was still right, it was exactly what I thought. And again, it's not a bad thing that it's like predictable because the signs are there. And a shocking twist shouldn't come out of nowhere. Like, there should be evidence within the book to support their actions, but that doesn't mean that like it also wasn't a little predictable. I'm not overly mad about it. Like, I still really enjoyed the characterization and I loved seeing like the little tidbits and like little like nods to like past stories. Like, there was this like demon that shows up for like a scene, and it's a callback to like a story within the Bane Chronicles, and it was just like so fun to read, just like see this character. Like, I just found it so funny, and just like it just was really nice to see that Cassie was writing and being like, hey, remember this like fun story, like here's another callback to it. Like, it was nice. I really enjoyed it, and there was a couple of them throughout this book, so like that was really fun. All of that is to say that I really enjoyed my time with this book. I am so glad that I jumped into this book and read about these characters again. I forgot how much I kind of missed them because I haven't read a story that's like just about these characters in a while. Like, they've always kind of been sidelined, or it hasn't been all of them, it's just kind of been like one or two of them within a story. But having like the original group back together again has been like so nice to read about, and seeing like the Parabatais in action and just all of that was just, it was a lot of fun. And I'm really glad that I picked this book up. So with that, I should probably finish up this video, but I just want to say that I had a really nice day today. I got to just like chill and hang out with Karina for a bit while she was on her laptop doing some work, and I was on my laptop editing, and also I was sitting and reading, and we were just like chilling on my bed, and like my dog came in and sat with us for a bit, and it was just, yeah, it was just a really nice chill day, and I got a whole bunch of reading done, so that's really nice. I will check in with you guys tomorrow with whatever book I have picked up by then. Alrighty, so it is almost 6 o'clock on Sunday, and I have decided to officially call it. Technically it is not yet the end of the week, but I think it's close enough that I can say goodbye to this video. I didn't do any reading today. I just decided to take it easy and watch some TV and just kind of like let the books that I read really like soak in, and just enjoyed my day doing nothing. So these are the books that I read this week: Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Luckily, I really enjoyed all three of these books. They were so wonderful. I gave Hollowpox 5 out of 5 stars, and I gave both of these books 4 out of 5 stars. I'm pretty sure I kind of gave enough of a wrap up about what I thought of these books that I don't need to do it now, and Lord knows that this video is long enough already, so I'm just going to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts on any of these books, please share them down below. I would love to talk about them. But that's all I've got, so thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!